Hi, and welcome to my live stream. I hope you can hear me right. I have never used this streaming software before, so I am a little unsure whether it is actually working. I hope it is. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about Voicecraft. That's my baby. And for those of you who never heard of Voicecraft, let's start by taking a look at the website I have created. Voicecraft is a method to develop writing voices. It can be your own personal writing voice. It can be for characters. It can be for, let me see if I can make this a little larger so you can see what's on the screen here. There we go. As I said, it can be for yourself, your characters, to be used with AI tools, or to be used in your profession, in your work. For example, me, I'm a teacher, and the way I write things for students are quite different from the way I write things personally. So that is a little quick overview of what Voicecraft is. You can read much more here on my website if you are interested. I will put a link to it in the description after this video. But I've been working a long time on this method, and lately I have seen that there are some aspects of this method that were missing. I think in my voice gallery, as I call it, in my setup of developed voices, I have 14, I think, right now that are fully developed. But I have, as I said, started to see some things that could be better developed for a voice. In the original Voicecraft, I have a 7-step manual, or a 7-step layer method to develop the Voicecraft, the writing voice originally. Those steps are, let me pull that up for you really quickly here. It starts with a very simple question. What do you want your voice to feel like? the essence. Then, and for each step, I have several questions you ask yourself, and you develop this step. The second step is tone. Then we have style, rhythm, perspective, and constraints. Let me share this and change the file. I'm changing here. Here we have it. So these are the original 7 steps for Voicecraft. Then I have 3 steps that I call persona pathway. And that wasn't original part of the Voicecraft, but as I worked, one of my earlier voices, Sven, got quite a personality, so I needed something to develop that personality, to have him. He's writing blog posts, he has made some videos, and that is the persona pathway that talks about public presence, inner world, and audience relationship. This is when you go from being just a writing voice to being a more outward acting. And let me show you here an example of how Sven actually developed into very outgoing. Here is some playful use cases, and this is an example of a book Sven wrote. Sven's totally accurate history of human intelligence. This is just the first chapter of his book, and just to give you a little glimpse of what is added in the persona pathway. The dawn of human intelligence, a glorious moment in history when our ancestors decided to stop flinging sticks at each other long enough to form an actual thought. Historians like to paint this era as a time of great innovation, but let's be honest, it was mostly as trial and error, heavy on the error. So that is how Sven actually sounds with the persona pathway added on. But as I said, today there are things that are missing. That the more I work with this, I find little holes in these voices. So I have developed a third step of this, which I call Voicecraft Deep Cuts. It's not totally finalized yet, but it is, and it's 6 steps, and I have to pull it up here. It is 6 steps, but not all 6 steps can be applied to all voices. This is more of a deepening some of the voices aspect. And here I have added something like intent, why this voice communicate. It's not the same as essence. This is more of the purpose of the voice. I have added a layer of belief and moral thread the core conviction or worldview for the voice. I have added an aspect I call threading. How they use theme and images. If they circle back to the same point over and over, or if they are shortcut and talk about it and leave it. I have added one point I call absence, and it's similar to constraints, but these are things that are more determinate. They choose to leave things unsaid. They leave intentional gaps. Then I have added a point I call elasticity. This is how much can this voice stretch. Some voices are very elastic and can work for many different types of writing. Other voices, like Sven, with all his sarcasm and arrogance, are not as elastic. So that's my fifth point I have added. And the sixth point I call meta-awareness. How the voice relates to itself when it comes to act as a spokesperson or in writing. And these, I am still working on the layout for this part, but it will look similar to what I did with the other two parts. And as soon as I am done, for those of you that have bought my ebook and workbook for this on Gumroad for this, I will just add a second layer, a second PDF file for you to download either from Gumroad again where you originally bought it, or if you have used the membership on the website that you were offered when you bought the book. I will also add all this on the website when it's finalized. So that is one thing I am working on. But the second thing, and the reason why I actually wanted to come on and hear from you, is that on the website I have memberships. Let's go back to see here. Join the Voicecraft community, and that is for those, as I said, that already have bought my book. And I am thinking what you get with this membership, besides the book and the workbook and all additional updates like the one I'm working on right now, you also get a discussion forum where everybody that's working with this method can support and help each other. And I try to post quite often in there. And I also have added, as you can see here, field notes. That's my blog posts. And some of them are public, but you see these are just for members. So that is what you get with the Voicecraft community, with the membership. And what I have been thinking about is that since I do a lot of YouTube videos about Voicecraft, maybe I should add a membership for people from YouTube, people that find Voicecraft through my videos. And I've been thinking, if you buy the books, you get this for free forever. It's no time limit, it's free. For my YouTube viewers, I have a couple of ideas, and I would really love to hear from you what you think would be reasonable. One is to add a free level of membership where you get access to the discussion forum and the membership blog post, but not to the material itself, not to the ebook and the workbook and all updates that I will do. The second thought is, should I add a paid level where you pay the price of the ebook and you can download the ebook and the workbook and all of that directly from the membership site on voicecraft.pixelpia.com, instead of doing the extra step going to Gumroad and buying the book there. And by the way, if you go to Gumroad, I have a couple of Sven's books published there you can buy. I also have written a book myself where I have used this method to create the characters in the book. And it is almost done. I'm working on the last touches of like cover and things like that. But that will also be available on my Gumroad website. But what I wanted to ask you is, should we add a free membership without access to the books and the workbooks? Should we add a paid membership level where you get all the material? Or is it of no interest at all to you? Well, those are the two things I am thinking about when it comes to my baby Voicecraft. I will keep on working. There is never an end to creative work, and developing this method is also creative work. So if you have any comments about these alternatives on the website with new membership levels, please put them in the comments. I will leave this live stream up for replay, and I will add it to my playlist where I have all my Voicecraft videos. Well, this was a little test run with the new software for live streaming and an opportunity for me to get input from you when it comes to the development of the Voicecraft method. I hope you have a wonderful rest of this weekend, and as always, stay curious. And by the way, I should have said this in the beginning. The music you hear in the background, and when I have the other scenes, it is from Creator Mix. The Annick Nimmen's website for free music you can use in your live streams, your videos, your Facebook videos, wherever you use music in your videos. And thank you for the work you do there. And a special thank you to Dee Nimmen, who was the one that made a video about this new software and made me get back live again. Well, until next time, stay curious. Bye.